Oral questions. The honourable member for Burnaby, New Westminster.
Monsieur le Président. Et plusieurs regroupements d'anciens combattants, incluant la Légion canadienne, veulent savoir pourquoi les conservateurs ont retenu tellement du financement destiné à aider les anciens combattants. Plus qu'1 milliard de dollars ont été enlevés des anciens combattants et versés au fonds consolidé. C'est dégueulasse, Monsieur le Président. C'était de l'argent promis aux anciens combattants. Est-ce que les conservateurs ont une explication pour nos ex-militaires qui attendent toujours pour obtenir des services dont ils ont besoin?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Veterans Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, the assertion made in that question is absolutely false. All government always ensure statutory funding is fully funded to ensure there is no shortfall. This is a completely normal practice, Mr. Speaker. Veterans Affairs expenditures have increased from $2.7 billion when the Liberals were in government to $3.5 billion last year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member for Burnaby, New Westminster.
Well, yesterday, the Conservatives suggested that lapsed funding would simply just be carried forward. And, Mr. Speaker, I have right here a page from this year's public accounts that show up the $167 million lapsed last year. Zero, zilch, not a penny of that money can be carried forward. They misled veterans. How despicable. The Canadian Legion and Canada's veterans deserve honest answers. Will Conservatives explain why they slashed services and closed offices and why they pulled away over $1 billion from our nation's veterans?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, as I mentioned, the assertion made in that question is absolutely false. Exactly right. All governments always ensure statutory funding is fully funded to ensure there is no shortfall. This is a completely normal practice. As a proof, in the last year of the Liberal government, Veterans Affairs lapsed $111 million. That's $111 million in 1 year of a much smaller budget, Mr. Speaker. Simple fact. Veterans Affairs expenditures have increased under our government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for New Westminster, Burnaby, New Westminster.
Here are the facts, Mr. Speaker. Fact is, Conservatives are slashing services for veterans. Fact is, there are fewer mental health professionals helping Canadian Forces members and veterans. Fact is, Conservatives shut down 8 regional offices. Find some help online, they say to our nation's vets. Fact is, they denied disability benefits to half our country's disabled veterans. They did increase one thing, Mr. Speaker, $11 million on media monitoring for Conservatives while our veterans live in poverty. When will they apologize to those who served our country, and when they will restore the services they cut to our nation's veterans?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, our government has a strong record when it comes to standing up for Canada's veterans. Mr. Speaker, our government has spent over $30 billion since taking office since 2006, Mr. Speaker. That's $5 billion more in additional new dollars, Mr. Speaker. We will continue to stand up for Canada's veterans, Mr. Speaker.